Hey guys, Mike here. So this is supposed to be an AMC video. I even had the members vote on it because I don't do AMC videos. Not that I have anything against the stock, just that every single channel is putting out 3 to 10 videos a day on it, trying to get as many views as they can. And I'm just like, no thanks. And so I don't really have anything to add. And so I was reading something at 5 a.m. this morning because I couldn't sleep. I thought, oh, it'd be a good video to put out. But then all of a sudden, a workhorse came onto the scene, just blew up this morning, kind of caught people by surprise. So I started digging into it. Then one of the members sent me something, kind of helped confirm what I was seeing there and gave me some more stocks to look into. And there's no doubt that there is a coordinated, whether you call it attack or effort or whatever, to move a bunch of different stocks up at one time in the same basically general time frame, or push one up, roll out of that one and roll into another one. And so I've never seen this many stocks at one time, this being done to. Usually you got a couple, but it's way more than that, okay? You need 3 to make a pattern. We're way past that, and I'm gonna show you that to you. And so we'll go over the stocks, what's happening, more importantly, who in the world do we think is doing this? And then I'm gonna talk to you about who's actually making a boatload of money off the AMC ride up. Might surprise you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So guys, we start off with Workhorse Group here because it actually came out of the gates. It's up 54% in 5 days. Looking at from the second to the third, 40 blew up, is already up 18%. Then it skyrocketed almost another 45% after that. And then of course sells off after the big run up. Now it's just kind of consolidating. And then we look at another one here. You got Bed Bath and Beyond. And Bed Bath & Beyond was the workhorse of yesterday. It blew up yesterday. Ends up going up like, what was it, 51%. Sold off, then came back up even more at the end of the day, and then just absolutely got crushed today. Went down by almost 25%. And of course we know about AMC. I mean, you look at these charts, they're kind of looking familiar, right? On the second, just get this big explosion up, consolidates, massive sell-off today. Now we're doing another massive run-up today. And you look at BlackBerry, same thing. You got a big run-up starting on June 2nd, really, or June 1st actually was a smaller run-up, about 27%. Then you see the big spike, big sell-off, and now it's actually moving back up. And of course you're probably wondering why this is happening. So if you look over here, I actually presented this chart a few weeks ago about EV stocks, and Workhorse is one of the highest, 42% right now currently shorted. And then if we go down, you can see a bunch of others on the list here. Stem's been moving up big time at 35%. And others on this list as well, like Tattoo Chef's been moving up. Clove had a big pop to it. It's been moving up. And going to the other page, you got BBBY, which is Bed Bath & Beyond, 31% shorted. Rides, 30% shorted. And so, of course, that's the ones we really know, the name brand stocks, right? We're all familiar with. And I thought it was very strange, though, from the first to the third. The pattern looks almost identical on every single chart. Big pop. Either consolidates, massive sell-off, and then comes back up, right? And so then one of the members sent me something, and this is stocks that I really was not familiar with at all, but when I started looking into them, you can see the same patterns happening. And so of course, one of the members sent me this list right here, and this is the short entries as a percentage of float in order, and you see Workhorse, I already showed you, that's number 1. Bed Bath & Beyond, you see it right there at number 5. So now, well, let me look at actually number 6, excuse me. And then I said, well, let me look at the stocks in between there and look at their charts, because they're obviously very highly shorted as well. And so when I look at their charts, you see the same thing, a 23% run up, sell off, then it starts to actually consolidate. Same thing, this one right here had a massive run up though. You're looking at 160% run up in one day, sell off, consolidate, right? And I checked for news, there's no news on that one. Then you got this group right here, you got from June 1st to June 3rd, about a 19% run up. This one actually has not had a major sell-off yet. And then you got the last one here, this one has about a 12% run up and then a massive sell-off. And so it could be a coincidence that every single one of those right there between Workhorse and Bed Bath & Beyond are making these moves on the same time frame. But I don't believe in coincidences, so I don't think that's what's happening. And these are, obviously I showed you a lot of different stocks right there that this is happening to. The charts almost all look the same. And so I was thinking, okay, who could be doing this? Obviously you could have the institutions doing this in multiple ways. They could just be covering their shorts, right? Which means they're buying back the shares and driving the prices up. And then of course they end up selling, boom, the massive crash, okay? You could have the institutions just manipulating the stock by how they move it around, how they move the sell orders into the dark pool, buy orders out into the market. That kind of stuff could be going on. Can't prove it. But then you also could have retail investors doing what they did with GameStop, which is buying out of the money calls, a whole boatload of them, which in turn, the dealer, usually what they'll do is to hedge that option, they'll buy the shares, okay? And so you buy enough of those call options, that's a lot of shares being bought, you know, especially on some of these low market or low market cap stocks here. That could be what's happening. So it got me thinking. I said, well, what's going on with workhorse options right now? And if you look at workhorse options, I went out and I looked, okay, which one's got the most volume? And there's some up close here, right here as you can see. But then I went down here July 16th, and you see it's up 43%, 56,000 contracts. And if you just look, you know, out of the money, obviously this started off at like 10 or 11 bucks this morning. And so if you go down, some of the biggest ones, 20 bucks right there. 4,658 leads the way. And if we go down even farther, you'll see a lot more of the contract, even more than that, 5,100, sitting at $30 a share. And so that could be what's happening. You know, it's hard to prove either way it goes. It definitely is very fishy that this is happening. And so, I mean, I'm glad it's happening to workhorse because I still held on to some shares in a Roth IRA. So glad to see that. And so we'll see what happens at the end of the day here. If it goes up and then the more tanks, you know, definitely that's the pattern that a lot of these others have been doing. And so, you know, the other thing I was talking about was who's really profiting off the AMC deal, right? I mean, you got some retail investors that are making some money. There's no doubt about that. Some are obviously worried because they bought in yesterday at like 72, saw the crash this morning, but it's coming back. I think you're going to have, you know, I think you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, but it'll probably continue to go higher, to be honest with you. We'll see about that. It really depends on the institutions, which I'm about to show you. And so I don't think for a second institutions have not learned their lesson from, you know, back in the GameStop thing when they got burned. And if you look right here, you can see if you come across here, they barely hold any shares. And all of a sudden in Q2 2021, they only sold 12 million shares and bought 339 million shares. Institutional ownership, almost 26%. And then if we go look at a little more detail, you can see right here, the institutions increased from 178 to 229 holding AMC, from 45 million to 114 million shares being bought. And you look right here, I mean, Vanguard's got a huge amount. They increased it about 29 million last quarter. BlackRock's in there with 27 million shares. Another one's got a call for 10 million and a put for another 10 million. Jane Street sitting there with a call, 8.5 million. State Street, 6.5 million. You got Citadel, they're not getting left out. Citadel's got a put and a call going on. As you can see, they're not about to be left out of this whole thing. And of course, we can't, you know, talk about anything without talking about Mudrick Capital. I mean, even they said they bought 8.5 million shares and sold them for a profit. And I found what was funny about Mudrick Capital is, guess who owns 5%? Citadel. They own 5% of them. So, you know, I thought that was kind of interesting. They got their hooks into that company as well. And then you can see right here, I mean, the top holders AMC stock with some dollar signs behind it. You know, and the value and the stake you can see to the right there. And I even found what was even funnier though was the California, I think it's the School Teachers Pension Fund if I'm not mistaken, but it's one of those pension funds out there, has a massive stake in AMC and increased their ownership last quarter as well. So they're betting big, and right now it's looking good for them, right? I mean, you know, those people are going to retire nice, okay? And so, and let's not forget the man of the hour, the CEO. And of course, you know, the CEO, like I said, I mean, this guy's wealth has soared by more than $200 million from this rally right here in AMC. That is crazy, guys. And so I'm glad retail investors are making a lot of money in this thing. Of course, if you buy now, please wear a parachute, as I told the members this morning, because at these prices, you're definitely gambling. But trust me, these institutions are just, they're loving it. I mean, they are absolutely making a killing. And when this whole thing is finally over, whether it's days, weeks, months, and that stock comes down, and we all know it will eventually, then they're going to make a killing on the way down. You saw those puts in place. There's going to be more loading up. And when they pull the rug, you know, the house of cards crumbles. Because when, you know, some retail investors, hey, you're sitting on a 500% gain, woof. I mean, that's tough, right? When you start to see it start to go down. And so we'll see what happens. I always root on the retail investors and underdogs. So do your thing, do what you got to do. But you know, I know you think you're sticking it to the man, and some of them you are, but yeah, these guys are making a lot of money. So, you know, and as far as these coordinated efforts, I mean, it's plain as day what's happening. I don't know. So if you're the one doing it, hey, take credit for it. Let us know if it's Wall Street Bets, Reddit, or maybe it's just the institutions. Who knows? But let us know. I'm sure I would like to know. That's for sure. And so, hope you guys got something out of this. Hit the like, subscribe button if you did. If you want to open account on the Webull, go ahead and hit the link down the bottom. If you want to buy some AMC there, some BlackBerry, or one of those stocks we just saw, use Webull, or use it to buy crypto. So you can do that as well. So links down there in the description. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you this weekend.